All right. Welcome to the episode of the Pro Talk Podcast. I am your host, Mr. DHE, and this is my guy.
_T Hills. Follow me for more life advice.
Follow the man for more life advice. And today we have a guest in the building. Shout out Miss Melancholy, man. I met Miss Melancholy through a good friend of mine, which actually Ty connected us through. Ron Lyrics. Y'all have met Ron Lyrics. Y'all love him and hate him. They love and hate Ron, but this is not about Ron.
My Drake brethren.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ron throws a poetry show, I guess you could call it, or with displaying a lot of poets, right? And Miss Melancholy was there. I didn't know you were a poet though, because you were at the door.
Yeah.
The both times I was there, you were.
I'm always at the door. I
was,
like to be behind the scenes and just chill. But yeah,
I see that. And then it just so happened that day that I went, Miss Melancholy got on stage by surprise and prepared, killed the boat in my opinion, because it was unexpected.
Was it one of those like lingerie nights? Like the night I went was a lingerie night.
No, it was.
That was like last year.
Oh, so we've had plenty of shows since then.
Yeah.
We had a Halloween show, we had Valentine's Day show, we had all type of shows since then. So yeah.
Oh, and it was talking crazy.
Yeah, it was going crazy. She got a few crazy ones on her. But before we get there, before we get there, introduce yourself because they don't know you, and just let them know what you want them to know about you, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Miss Melancholy. I have been a poet since I was the age of 13.
Really?
Yes. I've written 3 books.
Wow.
And my latest project is, of course, the album Melancholy Shades of a Poetess.
Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that.
Was it poetry books or
yes?
Just, okay.
Yes,
okay.
3 poetry books. Yeah.
And how can you get them off Amazon?
You can go to Amazon. You can DM me. I got books on hand where I can autograph and mail. But
nice.
Tell them what.
Give them your.
So my IG is ms.melancholy2ys_. That's my IG. Also can look me up. Now if you're gonna order the book off of Amazon, it's gonna be under my pseudonym, which is Maisha Danive.
Maisha Danive,
which is what the books are under. But the links for each one of the books are actually in my bio on my IG
on your
page.
IG. Okay, perfect.
So we can always just click the link and it'll take you straight to Amazon to order the books.
Perfect. That's beautiful. That's
Come
beautiful.
on, I ain't know
Entrepreneurs out here, man. We make it. Hey, independent.
Master Piece, you gotta get that product. That's all I'm saying. I love
So 13. I see this question asked a lot, so I'm gonna ask it. It might be generic. Do you remember your first poem?
I don't remember my first poem, but I remember when I started writing, it was middle school, and I did a lot of like little stories.
Okay.
I was like the one. I always been the one that was just laid back. I'm not one that likes to be in the spotlight. But I always felt heard when I wrote. So I was always doing these little skits, like writing funny skits or whatever.
Yeah.
In school, and then when I got to high school, I started writing for the school newspaper, but I didn't want people to know who I was, so I would always do anonymous, like writing. Yeah. So it wasn't until high school that I actually really started writing poetry. But I was always a bookworm. Like I loved English, and when they introduced poetry in the mix, that was a wrap.
That was it. That
was on my Maya Angelou, my
Edgar Allan Poe. Is he a poem?
Edgar Allan Poe was like, yeah.
Okay.
He's a
yeah.
poet.
I thought.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Okay.
So I have read a plethora of poets just all over, but
Shel Silverstein.
Yeah.
I
grew up.
That was
the Giving Tree.
The
Giving Tree is like my number one favorite book of all times. I don't care. That was like one of my favorite books to read. Judy Blume. I was the bookworm. I was old school. You know how you had the Scholastic newspaper? Yeah.
So book fair, you was the first one.
Oh
yeah. Now I was in lunch. I was in the lunchroom. I was eating. I ain't go to the book fair.
No, I was the avid reader. So I was just like the book club when they had. See, the kids these days don't know we had Pizza Hut. The book you.
Oh so, yeah.
So I did all of those. That was just me. I read a lot. My mom bought me an encyclopedia, and when I tell you I went through like
highlighting that?
Not highlighting, but it was just for me. It was just interesting learning. I just that was just what I gravitated to. I felt that was just me. Right. I didn't being around people was cool, but I've never been like as much of a people person as people actually think I am.
You are, yeah. Right. So you were what my wife would call, because she calls me an introvert extrovert. Yes. So you're intro. You can be extroverted at times in certain situations, but for the most part, you like to keep to yourself.
Yeah. Right. So you spoke about how you don't like to be in front of crowds, but that feeling of being heard, puts you on stage. Like, so what? Or like, or speak on that.
So, I mean, it is a different concept. Like, you're a poet, you got to be in front of the stage. It's a different, for me, I had to get past my stage fright, because that was the thing.
Yes. I feel you on that.
It's one thing about writing and then sharing your work, but when you actually have to get in front of a crowd of people and do it, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
It took me a long time.
Yeah.
Even now, like, I still get anxious or nervous before I go on stage.
They say that's a good sign.
But it's a good sign.
They say that's a good sign.
But, it's as I've had to learn as I grew in my craft, and like, really, okay, if I'm really going to do this and go out and share, because it's one thing to write it out, or you go on somebody's live and do it, and you can read it off your phone or your book. But when you really have to really sit down and say, okay, now I got to memorize this and I got to perform it. Right. It's a different ball game.
Because what I've learned with poems or poets is that is the words, but it's more how you perform it.
Yeah.
Because at the competition, and even at the previous show that they had recently, it's almost like you can be killing it, but if you stumble or you pause or you take that break, it loses momentum.
It loses momentum. Yeah.
So you need to have it memorized, but also be like, well, I took it, because dudes and women be like, and I ate it. No,
but you know what's unique also?
It's your breath. It's like it's just like how some people say rapping or singing.
Right.
But
I was about to say yes.
But they have to. You got to be mindful. It started with poetry.
Facts. And with poet, I think it's harder because there is no beat.
There's no beat.
It's you.
You're creating they don't realize that the writer creates their own cadence on how they perform that piece.
Yeah.
So one piece, you can do three people can read the same piece. It's gonna come out
completely different. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna say this though. Like, but the one thing about like when y'all was performing, like they'd be like, run it back. Or,
rewind. They tell you to rewind.
I'm like, bro,
it's live.
You have to
it's
stop
live.
At that point.
We get hype. We get hype.
I'm like, bro, like that's way tougher than rapping.
It is.
It's definitely tough.
Because when you rapping or singing, you can't tell that artist run that back.
Right, and the music's
already going. Yeah.
You're standing like, okay, I like this.
But in poetry, like you get to have that more intimate moment with your crowd. With the crowd, because you're saying, you're in the flow of saying it, but hey, you just said something like, wait, run that back. What you just said, run that back. I need to make sure I really heard what you just said. Like, you really said that.
It's almost like battle rap, because they do that in battle rap. And Ron always tells me, like, that's the analogy he gave me whenever he was trying to like talk to me about poetry. Well, for him, because he does a lot of metaphors and double entendres and all that different stuff. So it's like in battle rap, they'll be like, run that back, or rewind, or something, whatever the case is, because it's the wording or the message was so hard. It's like, wait, come on, bring that back for me. And I never going to the first poetry show, I didn't expect to see that. My idea of poetry and poetry shows was watching Disney Channel and they doing this, and it's very it's very quiet, and it's very dark and gloomy, and it's very
and everybody thinks that that's what it is, but it's not. It can be, but it's more.
Y'all have elevated it to a different level.
It's an emotion. It's a feeling. It's like we actually getting up there pouring out our heart and our soul in the pieces that we're doing. It's not just something, I'm just saying it to be saying it. We're actually taking life experiences, and not from either our lives or something somebody else went through, and literally putting it in a poem to where I used to like to call it being an oracle. It's like you're able to put into words how someone is feeling that can't express how they're feeling.
So you're their voice.
So let me ask you this:
you're their voice.
That what you did with the album? Like, is that, or is it just, or is it solely about you? Because when I was listening,
the album was solely about me.
Okay.
It was literally kind of like this was me starting fresh because of the things that I like experienced in my life. And I went through a period where I didn't use my voice. So this was me.
We up here like poker.
So this was me like shedding all that off, and like I'm now this person. Like I made peace with that. I've healed from that. And
the eulogy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
So yeah, eulogy is the closing, the last song on the album, and I did that purposely because that was me saying I'm done. I'm done.
Closing that chapter. That's what.
But you know what
ahead,
made it? I'm sorry, but you know what made it beautiful for me? Like, and this was my thing. And I'm just being honest, because like I'm one of them people. Like, I don't like new artists. Like, I don't want to listen to nothing new. If I, these artists. I told them the same thing.
Yeah.
But what I loved about it is, like, I'm a visual person, and I was able to see it, and I was like, and I was saying to myself, you never thought about making it like a little mini series or something
So the goal is to make to do like a video for each album, like for each song.
Yeah.
I just have to get with the right people.
Get there. Yeah.
I gotta
it's a
find
process.
I gotta find a videographer. I gotta find
because you kind of want it to represent the actual song. You don't want anybody just any little thing.
Creating anything.
Yeah. Because this to me seemed like a masterpiece, right? It seemed like a work of art that took time and took a lot of investment, whether financially or like mentally, emotionally, or having to dig to come up with all of that, because you spoke on trauma, you spoke on heartbreak, you spoke on
triumph,
on love, on love and CPR, where it's like she's like it's bringing me back to life, like so it's like that means you must have died. Somebody must have hurt my sis. Somebody hurt sis bad. You had to bring her back.
You gotta think about how deep you gotta be for somebody to say, "Man, I want to be your emergency contact."
Come on, man.
That is everybody's favorite right now.
That's what I want. Like, how did you come up with what made you say, okay, like let me use this title to explain, or let me, to explain like how deep you got to be someone's emergency. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk to me, please.
That was so like right now. That is like everybody's favorite piece.
Yeah.
That and more.
More
is their favorite piece because that's a side of me that nobody has seen. Yeah. And whenever I get to that piece, they act a fool.
More is the sexual one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that
you was freaky.
It's the soft side.
Get on the Instagram. Go follow her, please.
So with emergency contact, actually, it was funny because the type of work I do outside of me being a poet and an author, like I deal with medical stuff. But it came to a point where I had to realize, I think for like a whole month, I was updating my own personal information, and the question was like, "Who's your emergency contact?" And
bro,
I was like,
that's so deep. That is so deep.
Dang, who is my emergency contact? I'm so happy to be like,
hard.
My kids, my mama. Like you think like
that's hard.
Who you? If you get into a real bad bind and you don't want this person ain't gonna say nothing, but they know that you like. And I'm like, dang. And for the longest, I was telling one of my spiritual sisters, I was like, dang, sis, I really don't know who my emergency contact is. This sucks. This is sad. That hurt my feelings that I didn't have. Like, I can't really say I don't have an emergency contact, somebody that I can actually trust and be like, you know what? I can depend on that person.
Yeah.
Whomever or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? I let it sink in, and last I'm not gonna stress about it because I let it bother me for a few days, and then I just I'm gonna turn this into a piece. But I'm gonna turn it into a love piece.
Those be the best.
And I wasn't sure how it was gonna be perceived, and then I took a break from doing poetry. I took these. I had these over the last 4 years. I've had these bouts where I literally stopped writing. I stopped doing poetry. I stopped doing just.
Is it writer's block, or is it something in your life that made you
life experience? Something I'm dealing with in life, and it's just too painful for me to write about, or I'm not in a mental space to write about it because I feel like it's just too much.
Yeah.
So I have these things where I just take a break, or I say I'm quitting poetry, and I'm like, no, you're not. And as soon as other poets hear me say that, I get DMs, I get phone calls. And they're like, no, you're not quitting. So for me, I take these. I said, I'm not quitting. I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
So when I decided that, when I felt like I was in a good space, and I was like, I felt confident enough to where, okay, every time I say I'm taking a break, I come back and I'm a little bit stronger than I was before. my writing style changes. And that's one thing that I noticed this time around. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is different. This is really different. So let me see where this goes.
Which is fire that you accepted that and dove deeper into it instead of trying to go back to the other version of you.
Like, what you
writing
mean
style.
It changed? Like,
as far as how I wrote the poem, like the different type of poems I wrote.
Is it tempo? Is it like rhyme scheme?
So a combination of all three, but I think for the most part it was more so the sad pieces. I'm sorry.
You good. Good.
More so sad pieces than anything. And then it's like I got to a point where that was making me even bad. Like, I don't want to do poetry. Like, I write poetry. This is what I do, but it's more to me than that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I felt like every time I get on stage, I'm doing something sad. I'm doing something that's about death or just being hurt. And it's like, you got to draw the line.
Right. Yeah.
And every now and again, there's the love pieces. And I feel like when I gravitated to the love pieces, people are like, girl, what are you like? Where you come up with that one? Or I was like, okay. So I'm like, okay. I had to realize even in my healing from my own trauma, that was a process for me. A lot of those poems came from me being hurt, being in a hurt place.
You can tell.
And then you can tell how I was coming out of that. How the change of
like.
So the structure of each
so
poem was.
So each poem was structurally put in that order to show how the evolution of how I started.
Right. Yeah.
And from where I started to where
it ended.
Right.
The is it conversations?
Conversations with God.
To me,
that's the first one.
To me, that I related so much with that one, simply because of what you're speaking on right now, as far as like doing something for so long, and then in between doing it. For me, it was more so I'm not seeing what I want, so I would stop doing it. But my wife would say, "Don't stop or don't quit." Like your friends told you, like you told yourself, just take a break. But you learn through all of those ups and downs in life, because a lot of times when you want to stop is because you're going through stuff and life gets rough that you don't even want to invest time into this because you're dealing with so much over here, right? So conversations with God, for me, last year I had like a really rough year, and I had a moment where I wanted to quit music and quit doing everything that I was doing. But I feel like coming out on the other side, that poem correlates, because it's like you realize that going through that tough times brings you closer to God, right? Which is what you were saying, because you realize in those moments that God is holding you there, like He got your back. Like you're going through and you think you're alone, but He's there. And it's not until you come out on the other side where you can be like, dang, I can't believe I made it through that.
Can I ask this? I'm sorry, like I don't mean to cut y'all, bro, but to me, listening to Conversations with God, I didn't look at it as a poem. I just looked at it as like an intro, like I'm just talking.
It was. It was a conversation.
So it was
just how I talk to God.
Yeah.
Like, so that poem actually was, I wrote that poem the year before last. And I wrote it to myself. Because I've had people ask me to write them poems, or I've wrote poems about
ghostwriters.
Shout out to y'all.
But the one thing I realized in my healing is like, you pour into so many people. It's like at the end of the day, who do poets pour into? Like, who do they have to pour into? And for me, it's like I always was going through this thing where I'm just tug of war, where I'm giving, and it's not that I'm complaining about it. I'm not that person.
Right.
But I had to realize that I can't pour from an empty cup.
Girl, I told my, Lord.
And I'm pouring out all this love to other people, but what am I giving to myself?
Come on.
Right.
So that poem I actually wrote.
Ooh, you talking? Oh, Lord. That's crazy.
I actually wrote that poem like a week before I got baptized. Like I rededicated my life to God.
Amen.
August 6th.
Shout out to you, Lord.
2023.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 days after my birthday. And then for me, that was just like, I did that I wrote that piece a week before. And I was just like, I had in prayer, just having a conversation I had with God. I'm just like, I need to write something to me. Like if I had to write myself something, what would it be?
Yeah.
How would it sound?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to encourage myself to
Continue.
Yeah. And that's what came out
Oh
of that.
my gosh, girl. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Ooh,
Let me
hold
get
up,
to
T.
my-
Hold up, T.
Okay,
Hold
go
up,
ahead,
T.
baby.
Hold
Go
up.
ahead, baby.
Let the
Cooking.
moment.
We
Don't.
cooking. Go
Don't.
ahead.
If you actually go on my IG, I actually have a video where I recorded myself when I actually did record it. And at the very end, you'll hear me say amen, but you'll also hear me say happy birthday because I'm telling myself.
Okay. All right. So it's like a gift to yourself
Yeah.
in a way. That's cool.
So, have you always been religious or been in church or whatever?
I grew up in the church. Yeah, I've been raised. I'm very. I definitely feel like I'm very spiritual. Like my relationship with God is something very important.
Very
to me.
important.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like looking at your Instagram, like and like you know you like so like with the I don't want to
The imagery.
it. I don't want to disrespect it, but you know the paint on the how you paint your face and
So
is
you
that
talking
an
about
expression?
the
cover
modeling
art.
pictures?
The
Yeah,
cover
I
art
think,
from
yeah.
I guess from your album. I guess you have the
Yeah.
paint, the drawings. On
Oh,
your-
so that was just something that. So actually, that is a funny story. So the cover art is actually was a birthday shoot I did for myself. So those are both birthday photos that I took for myself for my 40th birthday.
and you was just like, oh, this is so fire. I'm about to use it
Yeah,
for my
so
album.
I
Down. Yeah.
Recycled those photos
Yeah.
and just use it as the album cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I've been patient. So
Go
can
ahead.
I get the patience?
Go ahead, T. Go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, man.
So,
Go ahead, corny
I
boy.
love this one because it's like you allowed the man to speak back.
Yeah, so Patience is like one of my close friends. He's Suge, aka Suge, out of Nashville, a Nashville poet, and Patience was like a piece that I wrote. I don't know if y'all ever heard the expression "you piss off a poet, they're gonna put you on a poem."
No.
Yeah, I can believe that.
No.
I never heard it, but I can believe that.
So it was that poem came from somebody pissing me off, and I was in a moment where I was like, instead of me going off on this person,
Yeah.
I'm just
Let me
gonna-
write it. Let me
write it out.
Yeah.
because I'm tired. Like I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And
Did y'all cohesively work that?
No,
Were you in the
so-
studio at the same time, or was that separate times?
so during that time that I actually wrote that, I was doing a lot of traveling back and forth from I was going to shows in Atlanta, I was doing shows in Nashville, and I was back and forth in Nashville a lot. So I did a lot of shows in Nashville, and I met a lot of Nashville poets out of there. So when I put that out, that's when I met Suge, and Suge was like, I got the perfect clapback for that. He was like,
and it was.
and I was like, well, let's collab off of it.
Nice.
You know, it's whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, we're poets. So, I mean, that's what poets do anyway. We hear a piece, we like it, we can add to it, collaborate with it, you know.
And it's crazy. It's crazy that y'all wrote those separately, and apparently maybe at different times.
Yeah,
maybe
it was different times.
and it was so cohesive. Because you're saying what pisses you off about him, and he's telling you what pisses you off about what you're pissed off about me. I'm also pissed off about me as well,
Right, yeah.
which is most relationship with when you're in a relationship, because it's like she's like, man, I hate that you don't do it. And I'm like, I don't like it either, bro. But that's what it
The
is.
line I highlighted,
That's what it is.
I highlighted, he was like, how can I ask for patience when I can barely deal
That's
with
what I'm
myself?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like, because I'd be like, I know I'm impatient, and I'm like, you want it for me, but I can't even, I ain't even got it. Cuz.
We both bad on.
Yeah. So and it's sad though, because it'd be like, I'm hurting you, but I also like your version, your part of it, because it's like, okay,
You get to hear the woman.
I'm summarizing in my mind. This is my story. I'm making up in my own mind. So you're basically saying, right? Let's say you say, man, I'm tired of this. And he's saying, well, I understand you're tired of this, but I don't know what to do. But then at a certain point, you get so tired that you're like, I'm done. Okay, you can't change, or you don't want to change, or whatever your thing is, but so now I'm not going to waste more of my time, which is what I like. And I've always said that. It's like, don't stick around in a relationship thinking that person going to change.
They not.
And
It's
then
like,
you mad every time they doing the same. Bro, it's been 5 years. You think he going to change? No, so now you mad. Oh, he is
I'ma
that.
change.
no.
He ain't going to change, girl.
not gonna change.
Leave him now.
I'ma change.
I'm just playing.
It's like how I explained it to my daughter one day. I was just like, I said, you got to look at it like this. I said, a relationship can never go back to what it was once a person hurts you.
Yeah.
Once they cross you, the relationship, no matter where your relationship status was, whether it's friendships or whatever, once a person hurts you to the point where it stings, like it will never go back to that. Especially when you start to realize your own worth.
Yeah.
And when you realize, wait a minute, I'm worth more than that.
Now,
like I'm hurting my own feelings by allowing you to hurt me.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like when I realized that how bad I hurt myself and how I let other people treat me, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
And
sometimes you need that.
It pissed me off, but more than anything, it hurt because I hurt myself in a way that
you feel like you're letting yourself down.
That I never like thought I would ever understand or hurt myself. You know how like as parents, you know, we try to protect our kids from certain things. But it's at the end of the day when you don't know who you are and you allow all these things to come at you and people to say certain things to you and do things, it's like until you really know who you are and be like, I'm not gonna tolerate that. No, I'm worth more than that. When I realized how much I hurt my own feelings, and I was like, it's one thing for somebody to say sorry, but how do you really make peace with yourself? That's part of your healing. And when I realized that, I was like, nah, I could never. I could never. Once it's like, I'm that person that I used to be like, I will stand there, I will burn that bridge and be standing right there. Watching it burn.
Go ahead. So, do you believe in forgiveness, second chances?
Of course.
Or like, is there something you can't come back from?
So I'm always a forgiving person, but just because I forgive don't mean I'm gonna allow you to have access to me the way you once did. Yeah. So it's no love lost, but you know, it's like I forgive you, but at the end of the day, it's like.
So have you heard of? And now I'm just throwing out scenarios. Have you heard of like those people saying like, old time relationships used to last longer because they would tolerate more and tolerate sounds like a crazy word, but they did. They tolerated a lot more. They tolerate more
because you gotta look at the times.
You have no choice.
They have no choice.
Right.
They didn't. They were only doing what they saw their parents do before them and the people doing before them.
Right.
There was no one to sit down and say, hey, that is really wrong.
Right. And on top of that, most times the women didn't have ways to support themselves. So it's like almost like the men could keep them hostage. Because I know, because that's how my grandfather was. My grandfather knew he made all the money and my grandma wasn't going nowhere. She stopped laying with him though, but she stayed in the house and he was like, so it's almost like, but you also on the flip side of that, you hear stories of like relationship that last 50, 60 years and they say how much they've been through and hurt. So sometimes, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying the right or wrong, you have to go through the hurt to have that 60-year relationship, because if the first big hurt breaks us up, then were we really ever...
It just shouldn't repeat.
It shouldn't be repeat, especially when it's to the point where it's causing trauma to that person. Like,
you shouldn't...
It's a level. I don't want to say it's a level, but it's a level. Because
I agree with that.
It's one thing when you hurt somebody and y'all can sit down and talk about it and like, hey... But it's also that whole thing of comprehending. Like, you hurt me, this is what you did, blah, blah, blah. And that person can really sit there and be like, and hear you, really listen to understand and comprehend, like, I didn't realize that my actions were causing you that. And then you can move on for that. But you got to look at back in those days, they just, there was none of that.
There was wild.
You know what's crazy? I learned that in therapy.
They weren't doing that. So you got to look at when they had kids, it was just a repeated pattern that they over. So you got to look at all them buried family secrets, and because nobody addressed it.
Nobody addressed it.
Now you got that one person that in the family like, hey, this ain't cool. When we gonna talk about it, then they consider that person, you the black sheep or you the bad one. No, when they really like trying to heal from it, like let's get past this. I understand that's how y'all was raised, but that's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right, and you can't. I'm not mad at you for how you taught us or whatever, but
because you did the best you could with what you knew.
But now that I know that it ain't right, I'm addressing it. I know it's not right, and we're
cutting it right there.
Cutting it right there.
So can I ask you this? Like, did all of that or like some of that go into Poetess Broken? Or was that another situation that just, or is it?
Poetess Broken was like just me in general. That wasn't just Melancholy. That was Maisha. That was what Maisha went through. So you got a part of that, but then you got Melancholy. It's like my little alter ego who always right there can put it into, can vocalize what it was that I was dealing with, that I could actually say. That's when I really realized I got to a point where I can vocalize what I was experiencing.
Right. You were saying it, but you wouldn't, going,
implying
it.
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean? You were really like, and I was like, damn, like, because I was like, wait, what you mean? Like, what? I was like, what trauma? What happened? Like, you be like, it makes you want to
Todd was
ask.
being nosy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Like,
I want to know more.
I'm sorry. Like, but that was my thoughts just listening to it. I'm like, man, what happened? Like, God, like what? Physical? Like, whoa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's so many things, so many ways your mind can go that I was like, damn, I wanted to, but I can, I can truly understand. What you got? I thought you had.
You had mentioned that your favorite artist. What was that lady's name you said at the beginning of the pod?
Maya Angelou.
Was that the one you said it was your favorite?
You don't know Maya Angelou?
No, brother, don't do that. Brother, don't do that. I know. I thought it was somebody else. I was gonna ask.
Give me your black card.
Yeah, that's why I stopped you right there. You and Ron like taking my black card. I'm tired of y'all with my black card now. Now y'all gonna stop this in this black card now.
That's crazy.
Need my black card. Anyway, back.
That's crazy.
Do you have a favorite poem by her?
I know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
That's what you said. Okay. Once you heard, was that the poem that kind of sent you?
No, I think for me it was just a compilation of when I was in school and just learning about each one of those poets. And then I was a person who liked to read autobiographies. So I read her autobiography and I was just like, oh, wow. Like, you really don't know where a person, like, that drive comes from.
Yeah.
Until you read that biography. And when I read her biography, I was a teenager when I read it, but it was just so compelling to me because I was like, wow, you just would have never even thought.
Because a lot of times we see the final product and think, wow, like they're that, but you don't know what it took for them to get to that point.
What pushed them to write that, or what pushed them to be the
artist
that they are.
I feel like the best poems, music, art, the best art comes from a real place, an honest place. Most times a hurt place. I feel like that's when I've written the best songs that I've ever written, or that got me. It's like because
somebody hurts you.
Oh my gosh, it's so genuine, and it just flows out like a freaking flood. It's just like blah blah.
Because you're getting it all out without somebody stopping you to ask you why. You're getting everything. It's like word vomit. Is like you get it all out, and it you're hitting all the bells that everybody like, yes, that's what I was be trying to tell people, nobody listens, and because they want you to be quiet, trying to silence you. So
and then you realize, I'm sorry, go ahead. And you realize once you express yourself, how many people relate to that. I get so many. Okay, not exaggeration. I'm not that popular. I get a few DMs here and there where they be like, man, what you said there, I'm dealing with that, or I've dealt with that, or I've been through that, and it kind of like makes you feel more open or willing to open, because a lot of times we're afraid to be judged by our honesty. Whenever you're too honest about what you're going through, because you think I don't know if it's y'all, but we think we're the only ones going through this specific thing at this specific moment. When there is billions on earth, there's no way you're the only one. So it's almost like it gives you that freedom to want to open up. And I feel like this catalog, like this record, did you have a moment there where it was like some validation, maybe, where someone was like, man, you should open up more, or because you opened up, this affected me, or just the fact of like, they heard one of your poems that you had written a while back, and it was like, man, you should do more of that. And that validation gave you like, you know what, I'm about to do 11, 13 tracks and kill them back to back.
No, so my best friend Trina, she was the one who really pushed me to write. Get it out. Because, I mean, she read a few of my pieces, but when I really did start writing, and people were like, you need to write a book, make it. And I was like, I don't do all that. I prayed about it, and it seemed like for whatever reason I had this person just telling me, I was like, well, I guess, God, that's what you confirmed me. I need to write a book. And it wasn't until then that I did it where people were pulling at me to do more. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to gravitate to this new place that I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
So that was a lot too, when you're being pulled in the spot and like, wait, what?
Now you gotta adjust quick.
That was anxiety enough for me. And I struggle a lot with my anxiety in the past. So I'm just like, okay, this is not what I was like what you picture in your mind ain't what it really is when it happens. So it's just like, oh my God. So I had a lot of those moments where I was just like, like what I get myself into. But when I reflect back, I'm glad I did have somebody or had people around me to say, this is work. No, you are a good writer. What you say, it do hit.
Yeah.
You be saying stuff I want to say, and I just don't have the words to say it.
Yeah.
So I had to get comfortable in my craft. I had to. It was learned, because when you just always behind the scenes, just always writing, like.
Yeah, because that's the first step, like being able to create the art, but being able to express the art is a completely different thing.
I was about to say, like, when does
because you can write anything in your notebook,
like the acting or like the
acting is really
like, when is all like
it's the emotion.
Yeah, like to be able to perform on stage.
So
like,
it's the emotion, because as an artist, you have to put yourself in that same position where you was when you wrote that piece and that person made you mad or made you fall in love or made you, just be whatever emotion is. So that's where the acting comes in, because you literally can go back to that moment and you can remember how your mannerism was and how it made you feel, and that's where it comes alive on stage with us. The expression is the emotion. It's not that it's hard for a person to get on stage. That's why whenever you hear Ron say, like, it take a lot for us to get up here and do this.
Yeah, so give them respect. What they say? Respect the mic.
Respect the mic, because we literally are putting our heart. We're putting our emotion. We're allowing. That is the one time that we're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable for everybody to see.
Yeah,
and to have a piece that we know everybody can relate to, because some people just don't have the words to say it, but they hear and they're like, that's what I be trying to tell this person or that person. And then you be like, I just don't have the words, but that one person get on stage and hit every nail in the head for you, like, that's it right there. So it takes a lot. That's where the acting comes in, where it's more emotion than anything. We call it emotion because that's what it is. I don't really say acting. It's emotion, because at this point, because we're showing you
your real side.
It's like you wish you had like especially like say listening to, it's like you wish you were like there, like a fly on the wall, and being like, damn. Like,
and then you
like,
see her
healing,
or him,
you know what I mean? She's
talking
back
about
to
it.
love.
Okay,
She's trying to think. Okay, you know what I mean? Just different stuff like that. Like, because you can definitely, like, especially with patience, like looking at both sides. I was like, that was real unique. I wanted to ask you this. Okay, Honey Green. She's not a rapper or anything, right? She's the guitarist, or
no? Honey Green.
She was the singer. She was the singer.
Yeah, she was
the singer in the background.
She was the singer in the background. Oh, okay. I must not. I'm listening to the words too hard. Then, 'cause I was like, who's Honey? I was like,
she's the singer in the background.
Honey Green, Honey Green. I love her. She is like the best person. Like, she does my hair. That's my sister in love. Like, she is cool people.
So a lot of I think you only have 3 features, right? Yo, Sus, SUS, right? That's
Shug. No, Shug. Yeah.
And I know it's just Sugar, Honey
That's
Green.
crazy.
And
Honey Green.
Yo, that's his name. Yo the artist.
Yo the artist. That's my brother.
Do you know Yo is that's the dude that be on the show? He be co-hosting with Ron. That's Yo.
Oh, that's Yo. Yeah, he already did the show with us. Yeah.
That's who was rapping.
The hook was funny. How was that?
Hey, when that sucker came on, because I wasn't expecting it. She threw me off. She threw me off. She the whole way. Love is beautiful, broken. I said,
I thought you were about to rap.
I told Yo, I was like, this is gonna be the last track on the album. I want this to be like we second lining out this bitch. Like,
yeah, it was hard.
Like,
I was like
me, like second lining past everything, because I'm stepping into the new person that I am, and it's it. And when we were in the studio and we recorded that is probably 2 years old.
Really?
Wow.
It don't sound it, cuz. It doesn't sound
how long
it.
Did you sit on a piece before you recorded, or?
That's
or
a good question. That's a good question.
Shout out to Flu, because Flu is my producer.
Yeah, I know Flu. I worked with Flu in the past.
Right at the start of COVID, through my best friend Trina, and I was always in the studio whenever they would go do stuff, recording or whatever. And I don't know, for one day I was just like, I felt it in my spirit, like I want to put it in words. Like, I want to not be on stage. I want to hear what it sounds like, me getting out and be in a studio setting. Because for whatever, I just love the whole vibe of the studio.
Right, yes.
And I sat down with him and I told him, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to work on the album. And that was during COVID, like the start of COVID. So this album is literally like 4 years, in the making, literally 5 in the making.
Yeah.
So every time we start, either life was life for him, life was life for me.
Yeah.
We'll pick it back up, put it back down, and then November, I was going through my phone and I was trying to clean out a lot of stuff that I had, and I stumbled upon all the old tracks that we had, and I was just like, I'm calling Flu.
Yeah, it'd be like that. That's what it'd be.
And I knew like then, like when I heard it, because I was at a place, like I said, I wasn't really writing.
Mm-hmm.
I was back.
It woke you up. It woke that beast, that giant up.
Hearing myself in the studio, it is like hearing a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you got to finish what you started. Like this is the time to do it.
So
now.
So the eulogy song, that was the only one that you planned on recording at first, or like you had more
I had other
of the
tracks.
album?
No, I had what you had on the album here now is not what I had before.
Okay,
I had recorded a whole different. I had started recording a whole different list of music, like list of tracks that I had wrote, and then when I reached out to Flu after hearing some of the stuff that I had recorded, eulogy was one that stayed. Love and CPR stayed.
Wait, so Flu produced the whole album?
Wow.
Well, that's crazy. Shout out to Flu, man.
Yeah, shout out to Flu.
Because I know his tag, Flu, but it's only on the last song. So I didn't know the other songs he had produced those as well.
All of them.
That's dang, yeah, that's wow.
So I wanted to ask this. So like I said, at the end of this album was the eulogy, and where you let everything go, right? And you acknowledge it, you telling it, look, whatever, it's gone. So my question was like, what's next? Like, what chapter are we on now? Like, what it looks like?
This chapter is me really being the person that I feel like I'm walking into who I'm supposed to be. I'm at a point where now I know who I am. I love who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not finna let anybody disturb my peace of mind. And I'm just really learning about myself more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I've dived into learning about myself, and the more I love myself.
Yeah.
And the more I'm in that space of where I'm not letting nobody bother my mind.
Peace, yeah.
No peace at all.
Right. And I'm sorry, you don't mind?
Go ahead.
Like, what's the biggest thing that you can say that you have learned through that process so far about yourself?
About myself, honestly, that I love myself. I love myself more to the point where I will not let anybody hurt me. And I went through a lot to where I allowed that.
Yeah.
And that goes back to me telling y'all earlier, like I had to learn who I was. And once you learn who you are, although people telling you this, telling you that, people don't realize like you go through life with people telling you what you should do, but you never sit down and think about what you want to
do. Yeah.
And it's not until you start to do that where people, again, they start to label you because they want you to do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
They don't want you to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was able to understand that, like I don't want to think. No, I don't want to think how you want to think. I want to do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
However that may look, I may not know what it looked like, but I know this ain't right. And I'm drawing the line because this ain't it.
That was my thing for like 2025 as well. Like, but I hate the fact that we have to go through so much to get to that point.
Yeah.
I wish we could but I guess we wouldn't be as solid or we wouldn't be as strong if we don't go through
the process.
Yeah, you have to go through the fire.
As much
you
as
have
you
to
hate
go
the process, you have to go through. Otherwise, you can repeat the same cycle over and over again. Different phase, different situation, but it's gonna be the same exact thing, and you're gonna find yourself saying, "I'm tired of bumping my head."
Yeah,
in the same spot.
Right.
Like
insanity.
Insanity.
Like when is it gonna? Was like when you gonna stop?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey man, it's very good. It's very muy bien interview. See, told you I was gonna learn Spanish. My brother was hating on me, man. Y'all some haters. Ty and my brother. I got a trending topic.
You're supposed to know more than that.
Man, I do, man. I don't show all of what I have at first. First of all, you don't, because that's not right. That don't even sound right.
What's your name?
Como se llama?
Okay, come on, come on. Gunshot.
Spanish, right?
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We're black.
No, don't,
We were
don't worry
born
about
here.
It. Don't worry. I was born here. Oh, here we go again.
Florida
Here we
is
go.
not an American state.
Here
my
we
gosh.
go. Here,
We treat y'all like we treat Puerto Rico.
Oh, don't do that.
Stop.
Don't do that.
Stop coming for me and my people, Ty. Stop coming for me and my people, man. I have a topic. I was watching The Breakfast Club recently, 2 days ago, and they had this very interesting question. I don't know if you know Sean Kingston. Y'all know familiar with Sean Kingston? Beautiful girl.
Yeah,
Well, he got arrested a few months ago or last year, I think, at some point for fraud, some type of fraud. Him and his mom were involved in some type of fraud. Recently, right? They both got charged, right? So now they're guilty. And the question they were asking on The Breakfast Club, which I think is a valuable question. Actually, you both have kids. I'm free because I don't have no kids. They were saying, like, if you were the son, you're the son, would you take time off of your mom's thing, or would you let her do her half as well because you both committed the crime? Or if you were the mom or the dad, because you also have a kid, vice versa, would you take time away from, let's go mom first. Let's go mom. Would you take time away from your mom? Would you take time away from your mom if you both committed the crime? Or would you let her do her 10 and you do your 10?
First of all, I wouldn't have been that dumb to commit a crime because I don't.
That's
like,
not the question. We no. Answer it direct, sis.
Y'all
Answer
tripping.
it direct.
I crack the egg. I'm getting my mama to do all the time.
That's
Somebody got to make the money.
Wow.
You tripping?
That's crazy.
Be out here,
Crazy.
beautiful. Free my
Hey, you know
mama.
what?
I'm out. Drop the mic. Get up out there. You know what I'm saying? Girl, like, she can't perform. And then 10 years without both of us? Like,
That's true. You gonna provide for the family. You gonna make sure commissary
when she come
straight.
home, I'm going to have something for her. It's my mama.
Miss
Mama,
Melancholy.
do 20. Come on.
Nah, dog. 20,
20?
dog. Ty,
Hey.
if she's 60, 80, dog, that's
She
crazy.
gonna be sick.
Hey,
Dog.
We gonna do
God
our
got
time
a
together.
blessing.
Oh, we're gonna do that. So 10 and 10.
We're gonna do our time together because
Okay.
I ain't look. If I
God
was-
got a blessing with her name on it. You
Oh,
and your mama
God
doing
got a
time together.
blessing.
Me and my mama be doing. I'm not gonna be Big Shirley. And I'm skinny. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight,
But that's crazy because your mom's 60. I don't know if she is, but I'm saying
no,
in
mom's
this
50,
scenario.
mom's
No,
50.
but I'm
She can
in
do
the scenario.
Oh my
She can do
gosh.
it. That's crazy.
She can do
70,
20.
70. That's crazy.
She can do 20.
Shout out to you.
I'll
Miss
hold it down.
Melancholy.
You're way too beautiful.
Oh my god.
T wild, T funny. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Melancholy, let's
I
switch it
was
now.
not ready.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
gosh.
need to. You need to be ready with
man.
Ty. Flip script. Now, are you taking time from your son? Are you doing more
Is my
or
son-
daughter?
My son Sean Kingston.
Let's say yes. Let's say great scenario. So now you're the parent. Let him go and be free because he got to provide.
Yo,
so you
look-
go do the time.
Yeah, see, they don't look good when they show another foot.
Yeah. You go sit.
I'll be R. Kelly at the talent show. You're way too beautiful. That's my boy right there. Girl.
That's crazy.
Hey,
Would you
2042. Girl,
you take-
that's my boy. That's my boy.
2042.
Would you take time away from your kid?
We doing the same time together.
Yeah.
I
Either way,
don't know.
either way
it go. We doing
Yeah,
the same time
I
together.
can't. Yeah, I can't send mom. I can't see myself taking no time, extra time for moms though. I love her. Don't get me wrong, I love you. But fam, I was about to do a few months last year, and I was about to give her. You think I'm about to do 10 extra?
Whoa, you about to what?
I wasn't gonna give it up. I know that's why I changed it. I said I
You
was
was about to
going
seem like you did like that.
cry. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You saw the same thing, right?
Don't agree with that. Don't do that. Nah.
It seemed like you see you about to give up the mouth, not to give no time.
Oh, Lord,
no,
no.
never
Oh, wow.
that. Never
No.
You said
that.
I don't
Never.
know what I mean.
That. That's crazy. You have your game or your trivia that you told me about. You was going.
Oh no, I ain't do it. I ain't gonna lie. The reason why I ain't do it
This is
is
crazy.
because
Nah,
we
this is
thought we
crazy.
was gonna get to it.
Nah, this is crazy. Nah, this
Because
is crazy.
we were supposed to go through
This is-
every
this is-
song.
this is crazy.
So as a host, you didn't do your job.
This is crazy. No,
We
don't
didn't-
blame
we
me.
didn't
Don't
go
blame
through every
me.
poem.
Don't
We
blame
didn't
me.
go through every poem.
We didn't go through every
We
poem,
did-
but
I have notes
we
on every
had.
poem.
Why didn't you go over some more?
Oh, you
Because
got
know-
notes? Oh,
Go
look,
over some
I'm
more.
interested now.
Yeah,
Like,
go,
what
yeah,
was that
go.
shit?
Look, talking about some notes because he didn't do his homework. Now he was talking about some notes.
I did my homework.
No, you didn't. You
I
said
didn't
he was going to do
I
trivia.
didn't do that.
That's your homework.
I'm a father.
Oh my gosh.
You're
This man.
way too beautiful.
Come on, man. Act, man.
But no, like, all right. So you really want to go through my notes? Want to go through my notes?
I mean, yeah, if you want, yeah, go ahead.
I don't mind. Okay. All right. So coming out of Poetess Broken, right? Going into healing. I took healing as motivation. Was that really a motivational thing, or is it a thing where it's like you're in the cocoon and you're just getting ready to hash out?
No, healing came from me realizing that I was actually really going through the healing process. When you realize you're not doing the same habits that you were before, that you were working so hard to break. And I started to realize the certain things that I wasn't doing or wasn't saying. And so that's where that came from. And it made me look how it ain't all pretty, how people think. People think it's so easy, the process, but it is like going through that whole butterfly and the cocoon thing. It's tough.
Yeah. Healing is probably just as hard
like
as going through the process. Like the hard process. Because now you literally
you breaking a habit. And you going through those withdrawals. Like you be wanting to just
you scratching. You on the bed scratching and sweating. You like this, man.
Really,
I need
but
it.
you're really going through
it.
it. And then when you get past that urge and you realize that, okay, it ain't so bad. Like I need to go through that.
Yeah. You get to that point of freedom because now you're free from that thing that kept you hostage, that held you hostage.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give this context of this note, right? When I was listening to this, I was high. I'm not gonna lie. So listening to, I ain't gonna lie, you talking about listening to Love and CPR. I was listening to it. I was like, oh, she talking about weed?
Come on.
Bro,
I break it down why you thought, because I hear that.
I wish we can listen to it now and I can show you I ain't write it down, but that's what I want. I'm like, oh, was you getting high? Was you talking about weed?
No,
that's love.
And
man.
I was like,
love CPR brought her back to life.
It was when you realize that love is what is holding you together.
And gets you through it.
It gets you through whatever it is that when you wanted to give it up.
Yeah,
always that glimmer of hope, like what you doing? Get up.
Yeah.
Why you quitting?
Yeah.
And that love for me was God. Like, get up.
There we go. Amen. For me too.
I had a moment to where I was in my prayer closet and literally.
I need you here more because I be dealing with these heathens and they be cussing and doing all types of crazy. These heathens, him and my brother.
Literally had a moment in my prayer closet and I was just going through it and God showed me every thing that I was dealing with, how he was literally there with me. And like you thought
conversations
you were
with
alone.
God.
It goes back to conversations with God. It was like
she's so
it was literally like God was showing me in that moment that everything where I thought I was literally by myself with, he was there. He never left me. He never forsake me. There was always a ram in the bush. So like that was love and CPR.
Okay, so that leads into like, all right, so love symbols, right? Like the healing together. Like was you healing together? Is that a actual like
what, love symbols?
Yeah, like
love symbols was a matrimony. That was like a wedding
okay, piece. So like okay.
That's where that came from. And the crazy part was I don't even know where that came from, honestly, but I ended up writing that piece and when my best friend got engaged, I did that piece for her at her engagement party.
Cause like when I was listening, I was like, damn, it's like I was picturing it like not like, you know, a wife saying it to. I was picturing like say like two people in a car.
No, I think I take that back. So that piece actually came from, I think I had an event to do for Valentine's Day, like a few years ago when I wrote it, and I was just like, okay, we'll be the perfect like falling in love and Cupid, and that's where that came from. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where that one came from.
Guiding light.
Oh. Yeah.
Let's talk.
Guiding light.
Like to me, I'm sorry. Like, that sounded more like wedding vows to me.
It is on the same line, but that was me telling my person how I felt about them. Like love symbols was like, this is us like doing it in front of our family and friends. If in the midst of I had to do that, if that's where we were ever at. But Guiding Light was me.
Or more in the privacy of your home, like secret, like talking to him personally.
That was me being vulnerable, vulnerable with a person where I felt safe to finally tell a person how I felt without feeling judged, without feeling like they're gonna label me any kind of way. That was me being the most vulnerable I could possibly be with a person without them hurting me in return, like I had been in the past. Yeah. So that's where that piece came from.
But like also like, can I say this? It was just like I felt like you would talk, like not specifically talking to me, but like you would want your woman to pour into you the way you poured into that poem. Yeah. Like that's when I listened to it, I was like, damn, I wish I would love for like my lady or whatever to be able to pour into me the way that you poured into that poem. That was beautiful. That's why I said like that was more of like me like encouragement. Sounds like wedding vows, and I was like, "Are you getting married?"
No.
So when I pictured it, when I pictured it, that's when I was like, "Wow." That's
no,
I feel like that's the beauty of your project, where it paints literally, to bring it back to the beginning where you said you started out creating little stories. That's how you started. You started writing stories. This is literally a story. Like if you could just put it together in poetry form, it's literally like you said, the evolution, but it's a story of where it starts and then the heartbreak, how you came back, how you bounced back, or whatever the case is. It's literally a storyline, which is beautiful.
And it takes you
all
for
of
loops
it
because it doesn't just take you up, hit a peak, then come down. Like it takes you here, then come here, it takes you here, then come there.
It's life. It's literally life.
Yeah, you know
right?
what I mean?
Because I went from conversations to if I were a poem. So that was me like introducing who Miss Melancholy was.
Yeah.
And then it goes back into a different part of who I was or where I was at in my life. Like that's what it was.
And then leads into, because we already discussed the eulogy, she.
So she actually was a piece.
It's about you? But your
Which one?
I was just about your alter ego.
Yeah.
No, so she actually came from a piece. So in the midst of me writing my first book, the publishing company that I was with had another artist, another writer that was writing a book who came to me and asked me to do a forward for her book. And she was like, she wanted me to do it in form poetry because her book was along the lines of like law, but it was what happens with like lawyers when they're or whatever. It was, but it was a real good book.
Yeah.
But it was just about how the lives of how lawyers go, what do lawyers go through, or in their process of starting out. But she wanted to have a forward of poetry.
Yeah.
And I was trying to come along the lines of like reading her book. I was trying to pull out things that intertwined to make it flow with her book. So she actually came from that book that person wrote. Bits and pieces of it were me, but I didn't realize that until after I wrote it. That it was that I'm literally starting to come into this new person with me being a poet, me accepting this is what I do, this is what I like, because for the longest I didn't write.
Yeah.
I went 10 years without writing. So you got to look at it as me starting to write all over again. It's like trying to like learn how to learn to ride a bike again, and like, am I really doing this or is it? And when I got comfortable, so she is like the oldest poem on that album. That poem is literally 4 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Jeez, I'm cricket. It's just, but that goes to show good art doesn't age. I mean, it doesn't because it lasts. That's last. It lasts.
Like Thriller or Thriller, whatever they call it.
I don't know what that means.
Michael Jackson.
Thriller.
Yeah. See, she was lost too. It wasn't just me. I just vocalized.
Niggas.
I just vocalized. As Ms. Melancholy was talking, my mind went to at the beginning of the show. She was talking about how something. she was the oracle or something. You said something about the
it's
oracle.
like consider ourselves the oracle, like we the voice.
The voice, yeah. And I was like, oh, so you're like the voice. And in reality, the oracle means voice, right? It means so. If y'all are in the comments, don't call me dumb or nothing. Because yeah. Because I was like, myself, I was like, bro, oracle means voice. Because I was like, oh yeah, so you mean like the voice? That's what oracle means. That's crazy.
I was thinking like
in
my
mind. Oh yeah, you tripping? You tripping? I think we got it.
And only other oracle I know is what the Golden State Warriors play. Besides the Matrix.
Yeah. I think we got it though.
Very ignorant. Yeah.
Miss Melon, this man.
You're way too beautiful.
Oh my God.
Oh wait. How much time we got left? Oh, no. Okay, we go. One last question.
Go ahead.
Did y'all hear about the Marvin Sapp situation?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, what do you do in this? Do y'all think he was
Give
wrong?
him his $20.
First of all,
Church people don't play.
I am leaving church.
You would leave?
Because what you're not finna do is that.
Man, Marvin gonna jump you.
Stop.
Marvin got
I'm
them
being
hands.
serious, man. Come on, stop. Because
like
the man said he didn't mean it like that.
Let me explain something to you. Like, so I saw like little clips of what he was doing and how it's a way you do things.
Yeah.
Especially in the church.
Yeah. Agreed.
We all know that when you go to church, the church you got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the way you do it. And the way he did it was.
Yes, it was very.
Everybody get
It was kind
$20.
of aggressive. It was kind of aggressive because he was like, he didn't say, "Can you
It
please?"
pays
He
to
said,
stay.
"Shut the doors."
It pays
Shut
to be on
the
stage.
door.
It was
It
to
pays
shut
be
the
up there.
doors and just lock it. Because first of all, it's one thing for you to do it, for you to say it, but whoever at that door, you come on now.
See, but this is this.
Hey,
No, but wait, but what this?
What
this,
scene
this,
it made you think about?
What?
Don't be a menace in the hood while drinking your juice.
I don't know. T.
Get
I
the
don't
pick.
know.
Get the pick.
First of all, as soon as he would have went to getting all that game,
You done ran?
I would have got up and left because guess what? This is not the police. You gotta use your discernment.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a pastor doesn't mean you're the right person preaching a word. And
So-
the word tells you that the pastors will be judged
harshly, more because
harshly because they're entrusted with
yeah,
the lives of their church.
yeah,
Which means
the flock, yeah,
whatever they're doing, we don't know
yeah.
whether it's good or bad. We
Mm-hmm.
we have to ask for discernment. But at the end of the day, if you know in your heart, okay, something ain't right. This is not right. Because if you look on that video, when he started to say that, even the people behind him, it went from
But you don't ask
they went
$20.
from like
ain't no way it was serious because we thought, well, wait,
They
They
just-
told him what he was about to do with
nah,
that
he
money.
didn't just say that.
You better go spend that.
yeah, you
the
can
rest
see
of it
like
anyway.
they were like, wait a minute, what? Hold
Yeah,
on.
like,
But he don't ask for $20.
No, but it was just the fact that
I think it's how he did it.
it's
though,
how
T.
he did it. And then there was another clip where I heard him say, well, I think it's like 1,000 people online.
Yeah.
And y'all
that
can
40,000.
Put the cash up.
right. And I'm
Cash
like,
up, bro.
really? This seems like you doing this for you. You're not
brother, let me-
doing this for the house of the Lord, because this is not.
Yeah, Mr. Marvin said he because he went on and he was catching flight. I saw all types of stuff. I saw something that said that the FBI was looking into it because that's considered kidnapping.
First
right?
of all, it was
In a way.
over 1,000 counts of kidnapping because you told the
I don't know if it was real though, but yeah.
not sure if it's
Yeah,
real or
yeah,
not.
but yeah.
But the fact that it was charged with kidnapping because you told the ushers to shut the door. It was one thing to shut the door. You told them to lock the door. You wanted to lock the people inside the church. So of course, yeah, you're holding people hostage.
Yeah.
That is a hostage situation.
Till they give up whatever you want, that's literally a
You
hostage
are
situation.
now robbing the house of God.
Well, he said. Well,
Not only did you kidnap me, I come to the place, the house of the Lord, to worship and have my spirit fed.
Yeah.
Now I'm being robbed by the pastor.
No, but wait. Context. Because he went on and he explained the money wasn't for him.
It's still how you did it.
The money was for whatever they had going on. That whatever that was, it wasn't.
It was still how he went about it.
Yeah, it was.
So he didn't get
yeah,
under 40,000.
That's what he said. No, I'm telling you what the man said.
It's a way you do. It's a way you go about that.
Yeah.
And what he did was literally you locked people in and told them they could not leave.
Yeah.
You told the ushers to lock the door. First of all, I mean the ushers were gonna have it out. Cause who? Let me explain something to you. If it's not Jesus himself telling you to
Sister
lock that
Colin,
door,
we need you to sit down.
so you really gonna lock the door. You need to make
Mr.
sure
Marvin
when they
said
arrest
don't close the door.
Marvin, you should have took the ushers.
She in that bitch swing. Somebody get Sister Melancholy.
Cause you sitting over there locking the door, you gonna lock us in? I got something for you.
I got something for you.
Take them right with you. You part of that thousand counts of kidnapping.
You better call God.
It's rough. No, it's
It looks bad.
It looks very bad.
It looks no full context.
It's no full context, but at the end of the day, it's very bad.
Yeah, because
no matter how you look at it, it's all bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Well. That's a good note. I guess that's a good note to end it on. Miss Melancholy, I appreciate you. First of all, I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
If you watching this aren't from Louisiana, my sis came from far. Sis came far for this, so we appreciate her for coming by. We thank you for creating. We hope and pray that you continue to create. And also, before we go, you guys are doing another Poetry Madness, and you are chose. So the last show was a Poetry Madness. It was boys versus girls. The girls lost. Yeah, they did. This go round. Hey, I was there. I was there. I saw it.
Too.
What did you witness? What did you witness?
It was
okay, sis. Be proud and
it was a setup.
That's the one you asked me to.
It was a setup.
The one that's coming up. The one that's coming up Wednesday.
What they doing? A judge? Need a judge?
No, hosting. Co-hosting, but we can talk about it after.
It was a setup. Last month
it was not. It was not no setup. It was not.
They said
Sabrina.
Sabrina team up. I would say that.
They did. No, they did not. No. They did not. They did not.
It was a setup.
Sabrina was overconfident. She well deserved because she's really good. Sabrina is really good, but Sabrina was overconfident because Sabrina didn't come. My boy,
So Supreme took us out. Supreme
came prepared. Supreme wrote a whole new poem, and Supreme
that first line just
Supreme bit heads off, and they wasn't expecting that because the last competition they had, Sabrina won. She's the champ. I went in there bragging. I told Ryan, man, Sabrina about to get him. Sabrina, because Sabrina hard. Sabrina's the girl that you said you liked, young lady that was talking sexually, and you was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, that's what you was saying. I told you my pants left wet.
Oh my God.
Oh wait. Oh, Sabrina's not Bree?
It is. It's Sabrina. Sabrina Hayes, but she goes by Bree Hayes too. That's the one.
She was talking crazy, and she got on stage. It was a light skinned guy. She got on stage like they was going back and forth.
That's Supreme. That's the.
Those two compete.
So they went back and forth. There was men against women.
Yep. Sabrina picked his team.
I got pulled into it.
Sabrina picked her team. Sabrina and my girl came. She did her thing, but they didn't show up. They threw her in last minute.
They threw me in, and I was like, "This is not what I do."
And Supreme, I know y'all don't know none of this. Just bear with us. And Supreme found some cat that was new. There was a kid. I don't know. He's never been there before.
Rendell. I think it's
man, that boy went up there and just it was not a setup. Y'all weren't prepared. Not y'all. The ladies weren't prepared. Yeah, not y'all, sis. Not y'all, sis.
Because I was thrown in there, but I'm gonna defend whoever needs me. And
I respect
the men was mad at the end because what they say, why you even did it? I said because if it was the shoes on the other foot, I would do it for y'all.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so now Wednesday they have a new competition.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday, and she is the team leader for the ladies. And who's the guys?
Now, I got thrown in this regardless. Okay.
Again. Okay, but this time you had a month
time to prepare.
Yeah. You had a month. You had a month. How long you had?
I had time.
Okay.
When Ron called me, it was because one of the guys, Rocket, he was like, so I'm on my way out of town, and Ron calls and is like, you got a minute? I was like, sure. What's going on? He was like, so I want to throw something at you. You can tell me no, but Rocket, he was like, I was talking to Rocket, and Rocket said he wanted to battle you. I was like, what?
Okay, I see how you mean. Yeah, he called you out.
He called me out.
You out.
So the thing is, I'm the one I'm always
Rocket
the one that's behind
too.
scenes. Now, Rocket is like,
yeah, he do this.
He a clown.
He definitely a clown.
He's
funny
a
man,
clown.
not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, not in a clown. Yeah.
So we have this brother sister relationship where it's like I can't stand you. Like we always joked out, but it's with everybody. Yes. So we all like this with him. Mm-hmm. But whenever we it's like, don't sit me next to him. We at a show because we're gonna be either laughing at each other.
Yeah, josing too much. Yeah,
josing too much. So Rocket is always with the jokes. And for me, it was just like, what did I do to you? Like, I'm just the quiet one. Like,
Those be the ones. The quiet ones be the ones that take you out.
So when Ron presented it to me, like, I was laughing because I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "But Mel, you ain't gotta do it." I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it." He was like, "What?"
Shout out to you.
I was
Clap
like,
it up. Clap it up.
I mean, at the end of the day, I was like, "We're doing it for the team. It's not like, it's no bad blood. It's all for fun." But
no. See, that's how they start you. Oh, it's all for fun because when they lose, they say it was just fun. No. Melancholy. It's competition. Come hard.
It is.
Pause.
Come out.
Come hard. Prepared.
No. Let's be honest. Like, he done ruffled a little bit of feathers, but they haven't. Like I said, I'm the one that's always mellow. I'm the one that's chill.
Yeah.
There's never any, like, I don't have issues with anybody.
Yeah.
That's me. And for him to say he want to battle me, it was just like, well, what did I do to you?
He's trying to pick on you because he think you're the easiest target. But
it bothered me a little bit.
Of course,
I got a little bothered because I'm like, I mind my business. I don't bother nobody. I'm just quiet. I'm the mother. I just be in my own little bubble. And I was like, you know what? I said, Ron. I said, y'all think I'm soft.
There it is. There you go, sis. That's stand. I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah.
They think I'm soft because it goes back to that piece more.
Yes, ma'am.
Sabrina and Be Blunt, they did a little, they kind of pushed me to try to get out my comfort zone. And, with their pieces they do, I'm like, I'm not that, erotic type of poet, but, I could put, I felt the urge to say, you know what, let me try to write something different. That goes with me, my writing style changing. So I was like, I like this piece that I started writing, but I was like, I'm not too sure about it. So I went to them about it first. And it was like, oh my gosh, Mel, that is dope. But I was like, I'm not done. I gotta put my Mel on it. It's y'all want me to come out my little shell. So and when I performed that piece, Yo just lost it because he was just like, she didn't took off her nun hat. I said, see, so now y'all think I'm a nun. So y'all think I'm a nun. Wow. I'm soft, I'm quiet, I'm always covered up.
But sis, it's okay.
It is.
Be you. We just talked about that earlier.
Yes.
We don't care. This is who I am and I want to bring it to the table. And guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna get this nun, and I'm about to show you what this nun do.
So for me, it was like, okay, Rocket, because y'all think I'm soft.
Yeah.
So challenge accepted.
There you go.
I'm not gonna tell you no because then y'all gonna be like, oh, she.
Oh yeah,
no.
I got you.
What I'm gonna do is I'm always gonna show up for my team.
Come on.
But whether whose side I'm on, regardless. But this is my craft, and I feel like this show is gonna be something different because I'm actually gonna be doing some pieces that are new.
Here we go.
And
Rocket, you ready? Huh?
And
hi, Rocket.
He better be ready.
Come on, talk that. Gunshot. Talk that. Talk it.
He better be.
Talk it.
Had a corner
Rocket.
on standby.
Come. Bring it back to life. Love CPR. Come on. Yeah, Rocket. So, Rocket, we gotta have you on the show so you can talk trash too, Rocket.
Have a conversation with God.
So
come on,
he gonna have one.
Come on now.
Personally,
but it's just me. Honestly, I'm excited because everybody will get to see a side of me that nobody ever gets to see.
Yeah,
and it's gonna show people I'm versatile. Yeah, they see they're used to me doing love and peace poems, and so it's just this will be different. Kumbaya, this is something different.
So this is an erotic night?
No,
it's a battle. It's competition. You could just make a poem about. You could write a poem about whatever.
So it's no rules. It's whatever your piece is about, any and everything, whether it's directed to that person or just in general.
Yeah.
So but it's men against women. Whoever come with the hardest piece. Yeah. So
how many? And we can close here. How many? Is it still 5-5? Or is it 4-4?
No,
3-3?
So it's 5. So
5-5.
Me and him will go 3 rounds, but we have 4 people on our team.
Gotcha.
So they'll do one piece apiece, but we'll go. You got your
team yet? I'm not asking you to expose them, but do you have them yet?
I have my team.
Okay, so you ready?
Element of surprise.
So
nobody knows who's on my team until I step on that stage.
Yeah. That's how you got to do it.
But I'm excited because, like I said, it's definitely all fun, but it's also something. It's me stepping into a new zone that I haven't been in before, and I've never been a poet that likes to do the poet battles or I'm one who'll watch them because it's me learning how to write different, but to actually do it it was nothing. I've never felt comfortable doing, you know, being in that element to be going against another poet. So for me, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Because it's something I can say I did it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not whether I failed at it or not. Yeah. It's something that, hey, it's just something I checked off. I did under my belt.
Evolution. Becoming better.
So that goes back into evolution of the album as well as the book, because the last book I wrote is Evolution of a Queen. That's the title of the last book that I wrote, and that came out last year. So it's just all of, I guess I would have to say that the album encompasses everything, and it's like I said, start to finish. Is each one was methodically put. And the crazy part was, even though Eulogy was the last song on that song, I purposely told Flu while we were going through the tracks, it was supposed to be 12 songs, 12 on there. And I went home and I was going through like the stuff, and I was just like, I feel like it's missing something. So I went over, listened to all the tracks again, and I just felt the spirit saying, it's missing you. And at first I'm like, what you mean? But I know I'm having this conversation with God. Like God, what you mean it's missing me? And it was you. It has melancholy all in this. Where's Maisha? Where is Maisha? So that's where Conversations with God came.
That's a beautiful way to close it, man. Hey, this has been another episode of the Purely Talk Podcast. I am your host, Mr. DHE, and these are my guys.
_T Hills. Follow me for more.
Follow the man for more non-poetry advice. Miss Melancholy, give them your @ and we'll close with that.
My Instagram is ms.melancholy 2Ys_.
Follow, man. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. See y'all next time.